Hey guys, it's Bees. This is a 15 gambit I did on the pug. Let's watch it back. See if I can notice anything that I can learn from. See if you can learn anything. Let's talk about it. So, this is a pug. The affixes are tyrannical, raging, and explosive. So easy affixes other than tyrannical. What I remember from this run, trash, pretty easy. Second and third boss, really hard. So that's gonna be the meat of the video is the second and third boss. But let's just run it through. If you don't know this place, maybe this will teach you something. So this first area has a lot of these little Murloc guys. Now this trash pack, these Murlocs were recently nerfed. The whole idea of them is one of them drops a totem that heals or makes them deal less damage. I don't know. I'm a healer. I don't pay attention, but you just need to kill that. Other than that, when they hit low health, they run away, and you just kind of want to slow them down so they don't run into other groups. Now, they did nerf
Switch.
what percent they run away. I think before it used to be 25%. Now it's 10%. And as you can see, the pug I got in, they are just melting these Murlocs, so we don't really have to worry too much about them. And I could just mostly just do some Resto Shaman DPS of if there's 3 guys or more, just throw out chain lightnings. If there's less, you can just weave in some meatballs and flame shocks. But other than that, all you got to worry about is not accidentally pulling any of the giants that walk around. Just watch out for those and just stay to the outside of this room. Now, just for me right now, I have the 2-piece. Oh, there's the giant to the right. Do not pull him. Me and the mage sidestep him a little bit. So, normally you don't really want to catch chain health that much for AoE healing. But I do have the 2-piece, which builds up a guaranteed critical with chain heal. So I throw it out every once in a while if I remember. But other than that, it's funny. The best AoE healing for a Resto Shaman is just do spammed healing surge. Just quicker, more efficient than chain heal. But like I said, this pug was destroying these Murlocs, so I was just able to throw down Vesper with Cloudburst Totem, just do my 3 healing spells, my 3 damaging spells, and just builds up a big burst of DPS with Vesper. Now, another thing I realized after I ran this dungeon, kind of embarrassing, but I was running Venthyr, and then I switched to Kyrian to do some Mythic Plus, and I forgot to change my Soulbind. Oh, it's the wrong Soulbind. Didn't realize it until the end of the dungeon. So, and basically, the Soulbind I was on basically meant I had no conduits at all. Whoops. Make sure to check your conduits and everything before starting a Mythic Plus. But, anyways, like I said, Murlocs are easy. Just go around the outside of the room, dodge the giants. Now another thing, this is still before double legendaries that comes out next week. So I'm just running right now the Vesper Totem legendary. Now the next now for Mythic Plus, Shamans really, at least Resto Shamans don't really have a good healing legendary to use. A lot of people are just saying just where the Rock Boy gets the earthquake, permanent earthquake around him, and you just become basically a damage dealer. Now we pulled this guy by accident. I don't know if the pug tank wanted to pull this guy or not, but all the big giant does is he just does a big AoE every once in a while. As you can see, it chunked everyone's health for about a third of their life. And you just gotta watch out for the giant swirl rock he puts down. the big AoE, every time it goes off, it just puts a debuff on you that says the big AoE does more and more damage. This time I avoid the rock swirl. The guy could be a little scary on fortified weeks, but on Tyrannical, I mean, he dies before he even got the third cast off. I think that's when I realized I had the wrong soulbind on. Whoops.
Watch your feet.
But anyways, these mobs, they just shoot out a line that just step out of it, and then they just do a big AoE around them every once in a while. These mobs are not melee friendly, but... And there's another two at the bottom of the stairs. You can kind of see them in the distance. You don't want to pull four at the same time. It becomes way too hectic.
Avoid.
Pull two, take them down, pull the other two. I've seen some groups want to invisible or use invis pots to pass these guys. Probably on fortified weeks, because they're way more annoying on fortified, but we decided to take them down, and it's not too bad.
Avoid.
I just keep Flame Shock up on both guys, get those lava, those meatball procs, throw them out there. Now, if anyone watches this and wants to correct me if I'm wrong, but I think if there's two targets for a Resto Shaman, the best DPS rotation is to keep Lava Shock on them and just Chain Lightning and only throw out Lava Surge when you get the proc. You never want to cast... That's when there's exactly two guys up. That's what I've heard. That's what I do. I don't know if it's the best. So now here's the first boss here. Now, for the most part, the hardest part about this fight is the intermission phase.
Avoid.
A lot of people have this weak aura, and whoever goes to the console, they plug into the weak aura, everything. These lines hurt so bad on Tyrannical. You don't want to have too much of them up. They'll eventually go away, but they stay down for a really long time.
Interrupt.
Just don't place them in front of the four consoles in the room.
Front. Targeted. Targeted.
So if you get the laser on you, just
Targeted.
try to keep it to the outside of the room, but not in front of the consoles. Alright, let me pause the video here. So what happens is these four orbs appear in the middle of the room, and someone's got to run up here to this console that's right at the top middle of the screen. They can click it, and it shows them a picture of where all the orbs have to go. Now, normally people will put it in a weak orb. Now let's see if it will appear above his head in a chat bubble. They use a weak aura, they type in where everything is. But when he did it, he... Alright, I thought it was going to appear in a chat bubble above his head just to show an example. But sadly I have my chat covered with this awesome picture of myself wearing sunglasses. But he'll say something like orange blue on top of each other, and then below that on the next line it'd be like yellow, purple, whatever the four colors are.
Avoid.
Let's pause the video again. And how you read that weak aura is whatever one appears first, say if it's red or it's orange, this in the upper left console is the first one. The upper right, as you're facing now, as my character's facing, the upper right console is the upper right color in the chat box, and then the lower left console in the room, as you're facing right now, is whatever one appears in the lower left in the chat box, and so on and so on. But, like I said, the other people, even though this was a pug, I think 3 of the people were in a group together, so they were communicating, I think, in voice chat. And I was just and they were running around throwing some colors in before the guy even said anything. So I was standing there waiting for him to type it out or use the weak aura to type it out in chat, while some people were just already throwing things in. But other than that, on this fight, big old frontal, get out of it.
Avoid.
kite the laser
Interrupt.
around the room, kill the ads.
Interrupt.
The ads are alive
Interrupt.
during the intermission.
Right.
You can't use the console. So,
Avoid.
this is definitely the easiest of the 3 bosses in here.
Targeted.
Special target.
Other than that, something a healer
Intermission.
has to know, just every once in a while, the boss just zaps 3 people for moderate amounts of damage. So you just got to make sure everyone's topped off. Because when he just does that zap move, it hurts. Like I said, once again, some of them started collecting stuff before he actually typed it out in chat, so I think he was telling them in voice chat what to do. But this is definitely the easiest of the 3 bosses.
Avoid.
Now, something happened here at the end, if I
Right.
remember correctly. And someone died.
Avoid. Dodge.
Shockwave.
Ads. Interrupt. Front. Targeted. Interrupt.
See if I can see what
Avoid.
happened.
Interrupt. Front.
I already see that the warrior has his...
Avoid.
The warrior
Targeted.
drops low.
Interrupt.
See, there's
Dodge.
the move that just chunks everyone out of nowhere.
Front.
So as the boss got low, I think some
Avoid.
people...
Interrupt. Interrupt.
Something weird happened here. Oh, the mage got hit by the line. He was probably so excited that the boss was low, he just ate the line. you gotta kite that line until the very last second. I didn't see what happened when I was doing it live. I just saw him as a seed afterwards. But yeah, okay, it was the line that got him. Now, if you notice, we didn't lust there. No one said anything about lust. And this is why. They wanted to do a big pull here in lust. This is a new dungeon. I don't know if this is the preferred strategy. But this is what this group decided to do. Now, these little pirate ads, trash packs, they crushed the tank. This is a tyrannical week, and they still crushed the tank. You can see he can dip low here a few times. And he also has the
Avoid.
mini boss on him, who also just crushes the tank. You also want to step out of those swirls. They can be interrupted, but you don't want to be in those swirls in case they don't get interrupted because they hurt. So, blew that group up. And you want to clear all the trash in this room because either they aggro with the boss, or if they don't aggro with the boss is so hectic you'll pull them anyways. So you gotta clear out all the trash. Same thing. They do a move called Haymaker that just crushes the tank.
CD.
Other than that, you just want to stay out of the blue swirls
Avoid.
in case they don't get interrupted. Like, tanks getting manhandled here. Also, you want to make sure that you don't accidentally run out of a swirl into the next group. But luckily, that the first group we were on was almost dead, and got a little scary there. But just praise healing surge. So things to remember for next time: don't pull an extra group. But I do see a lot of people get like nervous about doing pugs, or if they're still new to Mythic Plus. You'll make mistakes. If you make a mistake, just try your best to not make it a catastrophic mistake. Now, I ran out. I realized I pulled the group. I started running towards the tank. The tank saw I pulled aggro. He was running towards me, so we kind of met up a little bit. So, like, little things like that. If you pull aggro or pull an extra group, run to the tank. Or if you're trying to stealth past a group and you accidentally pull, run to the side, die. Hopefully there's someone left over that can res you. Um, and just move on. Just say, hey, oh, crap, I'm sorry, guys. Um, most people will get it. Um, just know you'll make mistakes. Other people will make mistakes. Don't get too worked up about it. Um, now, this boss, I think is the toughest boss in here. I think it's harder than the last boss. Because this fight can just get so hectic. So the whole idea of the fight, if you don't know, the boss has this frontal in the tank. It starts off as a big line that will follow the tank, but at some point, the frontal will stick, won't move anymore to give the tank a chance to run out of it. What you have to do is, here comes the ads from the left side of the screen. They come out of the water from the boat. The tank wants to hit those ads with the frontal because, as you can see, you can kill them. Those ads randomly fixate on people. So for the most part, if you're ranged, you kind of want to stand with the boss between you and the water, like I am now. So the ads would have to run through the boss to get to you. Also, could just be a good idea just to, especially if you're a melee, just stand in front of the boss. So if any ads come to you, they just run right in front of the boss. Another thing that happens every once in a while is a giant chain comes out from the boat and tries to pull you in to the water. By the way, if you stay in the water too long, here's the chain pulling me. If you stay in the water too long, a shark comes up and automatically kills you. By the way, the chain also does a lot of damage to you, so it sucks when the healer gets it, because the healer has to run against it, but the healer also wants to heal himself, because the chain does damage. As you can see, Death Knight died in there, and if you haven't also noticed, holy hell, there's a lot of fire gets thrown on the ground too, which hurts a lot.
High energy.
If the tank gets hit by the frontal, it knocks them back. And it also stuns them, and you can dispel it. So, you also don't want to ever be behind the boss. I think that's what happened to that warrior there. Or it does a big tail swipe and it hurts. But yeah, this boss just becomes a cluster, as you can see. And there goes the Demon Hunter dead again. If you do get ads on you, like I do, just try to stay near the front of the boss. Thank God the tank had my back and pulled that ad in. But as you can see, this just becomes a cluster. The tank's going to flip the boss around and face wherever the ads are. Everyone's just got to try their best to stay alive. Let's see here. I've already used Ascendance, Astral Shift. Have I used Healing Tide? I have Healing Tide on cooldown. Still have a good bit of mana, so I could just slam out healing surges. But just know, on a Tyrannical week, this boss, annoying. Got the chains on me. I'm trying desperately not to die. But we make it. Now, remember I said, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Well, I'm going to pause the video here in a second. So, like I said, I'm in a pug. They're not talking to me. They're not saying anything. And I thought they were going to pull this mob here. And I realized everyone's just running past them. And I'm like, oh my god, you can just run past this guy. He has the affix cubes and stuff around him. But also I would like to point out, right here, straight ahead to me on the right, after you go past this like pillar or this wall, is apparently a teleporter. And as I hug the wall, I walk into the teleporter. And it takes you back to the start of the instance. Oops. So I gotta run back. Now at the same time, you notice here, the tank's health, he must not have realized that their healer got teleported back to the start of the instance. So, yeah, that just happened. Just run. Now, once again, I was just like, I don't want to make the same mistake again. So let's just use an invisibility potion. There's that teleporter right there. Oh, it's close. I get in there. Now, it was dumb for me to go through the teleporter, but tanks, please realize that if your healer teleported back to the start of the instance, don't pull a group. Now, all you gotta worry about really was these two small trash packs. All these ads here, they just do a spell, which I can't remember the name, but as you see, it just puts this debuff on the tank. And all that debuff says is they take more damage from that attack. So once you get up to like 4 or 5, or maybe 3 on a fortified week, it starts to hurt. So just dispel the tank every once in a while. There's me bringing the camera back to be like, where was that teleporter I went through? Once again, group, they pump. These ads are a little bit more scary on a fortified week, but on a tyrannical week, not that bad. I'm just throwing out chain lightnings in the meantime, throwing some heals on the tank. Getting all the volcanics underneath me. Alright, now these two guys. Now we skip. I'm looking at this guy. Oh, I noticed the shadow of something coming by on the ground. You see that? I was just like, well, what is making that shadow? That's why I randomly looked in the sky. Alright, these guys, they do 2 moves. Both are deadly. First move, they charge this huge ball. They face in a random direction. You can see them doing it now. Don't get hit by that ball, especially on a fortified week. That will kill you. Other than that, they throw out an orb on the ground that needs to be damaged down quickly because it just does a big AoE. But if you get hit by that ball, it basically kills you. I need to set up... look, I'm alive. I've never died. I don't know what you're talking about. These guys suck on a fortified week. I've seen some groups on fortified lust on this pack instead of the boss. And now the final boss, who is also a pain on a tyrannical week. So, I'm going to play the boss if you don't know him. At the start of the fight, he summons 2 ads. Here they come. All these ads do is every once in a while, they'll start casting an ability. If the ability goes off, it's a wipe. Like, straight up, you're going to wipe. Other than that, the boss throws down this big circle here. And the idea is, someone's got to step into it every once in a while. It does a big explosion on the raid. Puts the debuff on the raid for a few seconds that says you'll take more damage from the explosion.
Targeted.
So the idea is you want to set off the explosion every once in a while. Let your healer time to heal up between explosions.
Beam.
If you don't manually set it off, after about 25 seconds or so, whatever explosions weren't set off, all happen at once. So it comes out with four charges. You could technically go in and set off 3 and let the 4th one detonate by itself, but that could be scary because the boss just does an AoE that jumps around through the raid also. Little ball that bounces around that spark. Doesn't really hurt that much, but if that goes off when the big explosion goes off at the same time, could be a little scary.
Debuff.
So, for the most part, I would just let the healer take control of the orb. He runs in, gets knocked back. He can heal everyone up, runs in. Everyone drops again. So, this is phase 1 of this boss. When the boss hits 40%, phase 2 starts. And these star-looking artifacts come out. Now everyone wants to pick one and kind of hug it like
Special
we all
coming.
are. And then you see these red arrows come out from everyone. You want to make their arrow coming towards you
Dance.
Special coming.
go through the star. It does big AoE to the raid. And
Dance.
if all the stars were hit, he goes back to normal. If they weren't all hit, you have to do it again. And that could really hurt on Tyrannical. Other than that, as you can see, big explosions come out from the stars. You want to dodge them. Don't be like me.
Soak.
Watch
Avoid.
Does this again. But he also does this move, too, which is just like, don't stand and nose.
Debuff.
But I have to set this off again. I wanted to set it off earlier, but, you know, there was crap around the room.
Debuff.
So do I just
Yeah.
let the last one go off by itself? I probably do. Heal everyone up.
Debuff.
Yeah. These things that jump around from the star things hurt. And this is basically all the boss does.
Yeah.
Special
But
coming.
once again, he channels again on these stars, but now they're not so close to him. So
Special
everyone's got to
coming.
run out, pick one, hug it. But as you can see, everyone is across the room from each other, so it's hard for the healer
Watch
to
your
heal
step.
everyone up. So you got to make sure everyone's top before that comes out. Yeah, you got to make sure everyone's top before that comes out, because spoiler alert, something happens later that someone might not have been topped off before we had to do that.
Or.
Clapping star
So,
comes out again.
Dance.
Watch wave.
Debuff. Debuff.
Someone else is setting it off for me. Fine with
Debuff.
that. Alright, that dude got hit by something, so that's why.
Watch your step.
We gotta set this next
Debuff.
one off quick. I throw down, that's
Debuff.
definitely a healing tide totem. I throw down SLT too, because I was just kind of falling behind.
Dance.
Special coming.
Alright, what did that DH get chunked by before running out?
Special coming.
I thought I had
Special
everyone
coming.
topped off. He got chunked by something. As you can see, we
Damn.
didn't get all the stars the first time, so we had to do it again, which really hurt. And then I'm trying to heal everyone up, and I get hit, and I'm just empty on cooldowns, and I go down. But luckily, they have the boss low, and boom, 15 Gambit done on Tyrannical. A little under 3.5 minutes left. Oh my god, I never have to do that place again. Alright, thanks everyone for watching, and see you next time.